My litmus test is how much booty is in it.
Okay.
Does this area start doing this?
Is it moving?
Yeah, and you're like,
I'm like more upper body, I think.
Yep.
Like
you're like that third eye chakra. Like that's just going. For me, it's like if I get a little switch, if I get a little round hula hoopy happening, that's when I know I'm like onto
you're
something.
on the right path.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Hey, Jess here. I am in Los Angeles, California. Today I'm going to meet with producer-engineer Ainjel Emme. Let's go check it out. Hey, here she is. You're a producer, engineer. What else am I missing?
Musician. Utilitarian.
Okay, awesome.
Whatever needs to be done, I'm gonna do it.
Yes. So when it comes to producing, if someone approaches you about producing, what does that mean for you? What do you do as the producer?
I work with a lot of independent artists, so I wear a lot of hats generally because budgets on an indie level are pretty small. I'm basically more than like the creative overseer. I have to have a budget in mind. I like to assemble personnel whenever I can. And just basically, being the engineer as well, you have to manage your Pro Tools sessions. So it's a lot of oversight. Mm-hmm. On one song, I will play everything, record everything, handle all of that. And another song, I might just come in to produce the vocals or to just be like, yeah, this is good, or no, you need to add more stuff.
So talk to me about the difference between, say, just producing versus vocal producing.
Vocal production is probably my specialty. I was a little bit cautious about that being kind of what I was known for because I really love musical production. I'm a good arranger and all of that. And it's really in music, in production in general, as a female, music production is very hard to be taken seriously. Yep. But a lot of women do vocals because we can, and we have good ears for that. But I was worried about being pigeonholed, but now I don't care. I'm a good vocal producer. For me, vocal producing, the way I like it is I want the artist to come in and sit with me and record with me. If I have to work with someone else's vocals, I want all of them and I want to be able to create the comp if I can. If it's already good when people send it to me, I'll build it out, I'll tune and time it. Sometimes I'll build melodyne harmonies or add little elements and stuff like that. But basically, my approach in a vocal production situation is to really deliver the song,
Okay.
Because vocals are something, they should take time, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have time a lot of the time.
Right.
You have one day, and it's like if that's a day that, your vocals aren't quite 100%.
Or your mood.
Or the vibe or whatever. Yep. It's really hard to have like the perfect day for vocals when you're ready and the studio time's booked and so I think if you're making a record, spend your money on vocal production. So today I'm working on a song with Susie Hessner. This is a singer-songwriter. I'm playing you with a 2-track. I believe I left the vocals in just because it's a mood. But for this one, I would say even with the long notes at the end, like path, eyes open wide, you can even shorten those a little bit. Because if you think about it, the longer you hold the note out, it actually kind of takes away that sense of confidence of the lyric. You know what I mean? So if you just kind of, I'm a woman on a warpath. I'm a woman on a warpath. Eyes open wide. Taking a first breath of our new life. Great, that had a vibe. You feel it? Cool. So you want to just like punch in the life maybe at the end? Cool. No, just a little more confidence because you're going into, again, like get behind the lyric vocally, like of a new life if you need to, because you're literally saying that you're taking a breath. If you need to stop before that word and You know what I mean? Like anything that just gives life that.
How do you get into their brains? Like, how do you get into their vision when they come to you and they, like, something about this doesn't feel done? What is your process to get it to finished?
Well, it really depends on the artist, because some artists have a very strong vision, and I always want to respect that, because some producers are tyrants and they feel perfectly comfortable just terrorizing artists and being like, it's gonna be like this, and push, shove, shove. And that's great, but that's not me at all. I'm really an empath, and having been a recording artist for half of my life, I also just can't do that to people, because you know, it can be very intimidating and it doesn't necessarily turn into something productive.
That's a weird vibe.
You know what I mean? So I sit down with the artist and we take a listen, and I'm like, well, what are you trying to do with this track first and foremost? Is it a feeling? Is it just that you want it to sound more commercial, you know, or more like a record? Or like, you know, once I have that intention, then I can really understand, you know, like, oh, well, you just want it to sound more like a record, so we just put a couple more things in and thicken it up, you know, or some people are like, it's just missing this emotional component, so we'll redo the vocals, or we'll, you know, find the things that bring out that emotional component. So this is one where the artist came to me. She had been working with a couple different producers, and she just wasn't really realizing the vision, and it just felt like the material was not connecting to the production. I had her redo her vocals to really just connect with the material. I'm a writer. Just right up in your business. I got real drums, but I turned them into a loop.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is my beautiful husband, Anthony, playing drums.
Tracked here?
Yep, tracked here. Everything besides the piano and that leather element, tracked here. So these drums, he actually played, this is me flipping the beat. He was actually playing that beat straight, like ba-bum. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I turned it around to make it 1, 2, 3,
so interesting.
4, right? And that just changed the feel of the song. I didn't bring the bass in until the second verse, and this is me playing bass. And hear that organ? So I brought in my friend John Titterington, who is an amazing keyboardist, and I played him I Want You by Elvis Costello, which, if you've heard that song, it has this organ that just, it's like pathos. It's like so much tension and so much release just in that organ. And he gave, for this song, he just let what happened happen. And he like would just hold the, you know, legato notes. And one of my hallmarks is the half step.
Okay.
I am all about putting two notes right next to each other and just holding them until you can't stand it anymore, because you want that tension and release, and like that's one of the best ways to get it, is just two notes and then let them go, or let them separate, and then so. And then I threw in this little guitar.
Oh, I love it! Wait, go back. Do that little like pickup note. And we're like, oh, wait, play that again. Oh yeah.
So again,
do you have like a mental checklist of things that you like to, like ahead of time? Like, how do you prepare for that session? Like, what kind of communications do you have? What do you do to the space? I would love to hear about that.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's where alchemy comes in for me. But with the artists themselves, I want to get to know them and who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. First and foremost, it's just the most important thing to understand the intention of the artist, because you can project something onto somebody that's totally wrong. And I'd rather not be wrong, because then at the end of the process, the record doesn't sound like them. I really want to establish authentic space with the artist first and foremost. And as far as like sonic templates, I like to build collaborative playlists.
Nice, okay.
So we start with that, and I try to cap it at like 20 songs, because they can get epic. Because you know, and I don't want you to just pull in who you want to sound like. I want you to like a track that really moves you. So once I have that established, then I just kind of map out, okay, well, listen to the song, and what does the song say? Because the song will tell you every single time what it needs. if you listen, right? But you kind of have to listen past the song into the artist's space too, because your document is representing them.
Right.
So you might listen to the song and have these ideas, and then like your production ideas and like your references might be super awesome, but they might not speak to the heart of the artist and the song. And again, when you don't ultimately have something that's really authentic, it just doesn't give you that emotional response that you want out of a record. Susie Hessner,
hello,
great friend of mine. And next to her is Rob Black, who is a producer engineer. They are in a band together called Susie and the Whiskey Dogs, and they made a record. And this is that record, and I loved this song so much that I was like, can you please send me the vocals? Because I am so gonna remix this song. I'm a woman on a walker. Right? So, very much a rock song.
Right.
Not how I heard it in my head. Susie's very much like kind of more folk blues, and in this song, I just heard her take a voice that I'd never heard her have before, which is this really just centered, empowered, like gonna punch you in the teeth vibe, and I was like, ooh. And at the time, I was just feeling very Nine Inch Nailsy, so I reached into that kind of industrial template, and I was like, I want it to sound like kind of industrial and cinematic, so that's what I went for.
And wait, and so you haven't heard this yet?
No.
She has not.
I haven't heard it
this
yet.
I'm a woman on a walker. I don't mind taking a first breath of a new